Hello, I'm Lenny Rhodes, owner of Mix Cosmetics. I make custom organic makeup, beauty care, body care, skin care, and I've been doing it for about 17, maybe 18 years now. So I love to talk about ingredients and what goes into makeup and why you might find things in your body care and what it's doing there. So I know I haven't posted videos for a couple of weeks, maybe a month. I'm sorry, I've been just busy actually working on some wholesale products for people and making some new fun things. I've been working with a beautiful artesian well water. I've been working with some CBD oils. I've been working with a company that wants to do some of their own wholesale. I've been working with some gals who just want to learn to make products, and maybe down the road they'll start a business out of it. So that's what I've been doing. That's where a lot of my teaching energy has gone recently. And so I've been maybe distracted just a bit. And so I'm back and wanting to chat with you about shelf life, because this is a question I get all the time, and I just thought I would address it. So basically, I'm going to talk about the different shelf life you would expect from different ingredients or different bases of types of product. So when you're thinking, what is the shelf life of my makeup? There are two things you need to think about. There is basically, what is it made of? What are the bases? How long do those bases generally last? And then the other thing is, where does it go on my skin where am I going to be using it? And so how prone to microbial growth is it? So the first question, what is it made of? What's the base? If the base is something like minerals, your loose mineral makeup is made up of rocks. It's made up of stuff that's mined from the ground. It's not grown. For the most part, it shouldn't be. There are some exceptions, like maybe there are oils, antioxidants, just a few of those ingredients. But for the most part, it should be things like titanium dioxide, iron oxides, ultramarines. These are all minerals, ground minerals. And here's what I like to say. This is kind of my rule of thumb. Rocks don't go bad. Like, you've never seen a moldy rock before, right? Unless it's wet, maybe in a waterfall, it's got some moss on it. But you've never had a dry rock sitting in your windowsill that's grown mold before or gotten a bacterial infection. Rocks don't go bad. So you don't have to worry about your mineral makeup going bad. It's actually probably good for just about a million years, because rocks are good for a million years. They've been around, and the only thing that degrades rocks is sun and water. And so, but it's not really going to damage them. It's just going to ultimately, if you run sun over your products or leave it in the sun, it might fade. And if you run water over your mineral foundation, you might have a problem, but it's just going to be weird anyway. You wouldn't do it. So mineral foundation should be good just about forever. Now, I do put some oils in my mineral foundation. I put some extracts, and so it has a slightly shorter shelf life, but it's still going to be in the 6, 7, 8 year range, because the oils have a super long shelf life. They're vitamin E based, which helps things from going rancid. So a long time for your mineral foundations, finishing powders, eyeshadows. Any of those loose mineral products are going to be good to go. So don't throw them away quite as quickly. You can always ask me about ingredients and say, hey, should I get rid of this product? I've had it a while. And then there are water-based products. Water-based products are probably the most prone to growing stuff. Water is the basis of all life, and so your water-based products could start growing mold, bacteria, yeast, fungus, those kinds of things after, I usually say 1 year to 18 months, because especially if you're putting your fingers in it, if it's something that you're dipping your fingers in that's not protected by like a pump, then it can go bad fairly quickly, just because you're using up the preservative life faster by putting your fingers in it. It can last a little bit longer if it's sealed up and you're using a pump to get it out. That can help it last a little bit longer. And then something that's sort of based on the ingredients that are in them would be the oil-based products. So I do make an all oil-based facial oil and an all oil-based foundation. I call it my everything all day optimizing cream. And those two are both oil-based. They have no water in them. They don't, the everything cream has minerals in it. The facial oil doesn't have anything except oil. And the facial oil tends to go rancid fairly quickly because it has hemp oil. So it is more like a 1 year shelf life that you need to use that up. I tend to make it every month to maybe 2 months is how long. So it's fairly fresh when you buy it from me. So that doesn't tend to be an issue. It's purely, you need to use it up because the hemp oil is going to go rancid when exposed to light and air. And then my everything all day cream is a Babasu oil base, which actually has a really long shelf life. So that's about 3 years. So when you're looking at oil based, I mean, something like olive oil. If you were cooking with olive oil and maybe you'd had this in your cupboard for a year, you'd sniff it to check it and see if it was rancid. And rancid oil just smells bad. And that's how you know if your product has gone off a little bit, is just by the smell. And so after a year of olive oil being in your cupboard, you might sniff it. If it's been there for 3 years, I would say get rid of it for sure. But Babasu oil, you've got probably 3 years before you have to worry about it. Meadowfoam oil, you've got 5 or 6 years. It has a very long shelf life because of how much vitamin E it has. So those oil-based products, it's purely based on the shelf life of the oil that it's based on. And so that one's a little bit trickier to give you a definitive answer. And so your nose is your best guide. If you say, this doesn't smell quite like it did when I bought it, then it's probably gone off and you just need to replace it. So I hope this has helped about shelf life and how long you can use something and when it's good, when it's bad. If you have questions, as always, I love to help. I love to answer questions about 500 different ingredients how long is their shelf life and how long are they good for and what should I do with it? Things that are silicone based are probably good for just about forever because they don't really break down. And so that's one of their problematic issues is they don't break down in water, they don't break down on your skin, so we don't know what they're doing to the water supply system. But they're gonna be good forever, generally, in your container. Unless they have some water in them, then that's gonna shorten that shelf life. So I hope I've answered your questions and we will talk soon. Have a great day. Thank you.